And we have a missed jump to start the ball game. No time off the clock. Good hands by Jim Kaiser. Ball up control by Oak Ridge. Matt McMahon with the basketball, and we're underway again. The girls have already won in a great win for them here at home. Here's Shaun Bohanon driving, stopping, gunning up a shot, no good. Shannon Porter crashing in, commits a personal foul to start the ball game. So the first shot of the ball game was a miss by Shaun Bohanon, then a personal foul called against Shannon Porter. It'll be Cleveland's basketball. To work the ball in for them will be Tommy Hart. He's a junior player. The Wildcats will put on the press. Down the floor with the basketball will come J.P. Westfield to Hart. Tommy Hart in rear court loops it across the way. Off it goes to Brandon Denning. Denning works the ball in the right corner to Andrew Zimmerman, who steps out of bounds with the basketball. He's the coach's son. His father, Carl Zimmerman, the head coach of the Cleveland Raiders. Blue Raiders. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge, the sophomore at the point. The Wildcats with 2 sophomores and 3 juniors starting tonight. With the basketball, Mike Gipson looks inside the Porter. Back he goes to Matt McMahon, who gets it into Shannon Porter. He'll turn, he'll spin, he'll gun, he'll score. Shannon Porter with a nice little turnaround jumper, and the Wildcats take the lead. 2-0 the score. Here comes Cleveland down the floor against the press. With the basketball will come Derek Turner. He sets it out to the top, out to Tommy Hart. Good three-point shooter, won't take it this time. Backs it over in the right side to Brandon Denning. Denning lost the ball to Zimmerman. Zimmerman grabs it on the floor, works the ball to the right side. Off it goes to number 52, Derek Turner. Turner backs it up once again to J.P. Westfield. Westfield guarded by Gibson. Long pass on the left side, nearly taken out of bounds. And then here's a double dribble called against Brandon Denning. Brandon Denning did not play the first time we played them. A win by Oak Ridge down in Cleveland. Both teams were in the football playoffs, so this game, different players who never even thought about playing are participating in this one. They did not participate in the previous one. Mike Gipson looking in the side of Shannon Porter. Kenneth Jackson. Here's a pass intercepted, saved by Shaun Bohanon. In fact, 4 of the Wildcats starting 5 did not even make the trip. All 4 on the football team. It'll be, let's see, Oak Ridge's basketball as the personal fouls called against the Raiders. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. To work the ball in will be Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon works it into Kenneth Jackson, spinning 5-footer off the rim, no good. On the rebound will come the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and quickly they'll bring it down the floor to Zimmerman. Zimmerman drives in, lost it, grabbed on the floor by Brandon Denning, back to Tommy Hart. Fires a pass, intercepted by Kenneth Jackson. Jackson with the basketball for the Wildcats, works it across to Matt McMahon. To Mike Gipson, he drives, he stops, he's fouled. Personal foul will be called against Cleveland. 6 minutes, 24 seconds to play in the first quarter. Wildcats on top 2-0. And it'll be personal foul called against Cleveland as they'll substitute. Into the ball game will come number 20. And let's see. My roster doesn't officially have him down, but J.P. Westfield's in the ball game. It'll be Oak Ridge at the free throw line with Mike Gipson. Gipson will go to the free throw line for the Wildcats. Gipson on the season for the Wildcats. Let's see. Puts up the first toss, it's up and good. Mike Gipson on the year is a 51.6% free throw shooter. Hits the first one, has his first point. Oak Ridge on top, 3-0. Missed the shot. On the rebound will come Tommy Hart. Down the floor will come the Raiders. With it will come J.P. Westfield. Westfield in the corner to Zimmerman. Zimmerman guarded by McMahon. Stops, looks inside, works the ball inside to number 34. Gives it up to Westfield. Finger roll layup, no good. On the rebound, Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon has trouble with it. Picked up by Cleveland. With the basketball will come the Raiders for a three-pointer. It's no good. On the rebound will come Gibson. And on the other end of the floor, another foul's going to be called against Cleveland. Wildcats on top 3-0. We've almost played 2 full minutes, and Cleveland has yet to score in the ball game. When I get an opportunity, I'm going to check in with Tom Mattingly to find out who number 20 is, who doesn't appear officially on my roster. Cordez Westfield. He does appear on my roster. He just doesn't appear with the right number. And down the floor with the basketball once again will come Oak Ridge. Shannon Porter with it out to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon works the ball off to the right side, looks inside, unable to shoot, stops, gives it off to Matt McMahon. McMahon around to Gibson. He'll drive left, looks inside to a cutting Shaun Bohanon, can't get the ball to him. It goes to Shannon Porter, gets a screen, and a shot, and 2 points. Shannon Porter now with 4 points, and Oak Ridge leads 5-0. Here comes Zimmerman. He throws the ball away, taken away by Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon lost the ball, taken away by Westfield. JP with a layup, good, they score. JP Westfield scores the first 2 points of the ball game for them, and the Wildcat lead is 3. 5-2 the score, and down the floor will come Mike Gipson. Gibson outside the three-point stripe, stops, looks inside Kenneth Jackson. He'll drive, kick it out to Matt for 3. On its way, No good. On the rebound will come Cleveland. Westfield pulls it away, and down the floor will come the Blue Raiders. Running Blue Raiders. They come down with Cortez Westfield. He's fouled by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge wanted a travel call, but it's going to be a personal foul call against Mike Gipson. So Mike, that'll be his first personal foul as they substitute. Into the ball game will come Dell Baker, sophomore post. Out of the ball game will come number 32, Andrew Zimmerman. It'll be Cleveland at the free throw line. No, it'll be their basketball along the baseline. 5 minutes to play. Easy layup. Good. They're able to get the ball inside easily to Ryan Burns, and down the floor will come the Wildcats. The lead is 1-5-4. Shaun Bohanon throws up a shot. No good. Down the floor with the basketball will come Westfield. He'll bring it across the line. Long pass. Out high it goes to Cortez Westfield. Westfield thought about a three, goes inside to a cutting Ryan Burns, who puts up a shot, no good. On the rebound, Oak Ridge. Mike Gipson and the Wildcats running. Gibson drives all the way in, finger rolls it in, no good. Jackson pulls down the rebound, back up, tries to shoot, cannot. Kicks it back out to Matt McMahon, who penetrates and throws it back out to Porter. Shannon Porter now will set up the offense for the Wildcats. Inside it goes to Kenneth Jackson, he lost the ball. Be Cleveland's basketball. 4 minutes, 23 seconds to play. Cleveland coming down the floor with it. It'll be J.P. Westfield once again. He's a junior guard, point guard for the Blue Raiders, moving from left to right as we look from midcourt here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. With it on the right side, it goes once again to number 20, Westfield. They work the ball inside to Baker. Back to the top, it goes to Westfield. Cross court out for a three. Here it is, on its way, good. It's a three-point shot made by Dell Baker. His first 3 points, and they lead by 2. 7-5 the score. With the basketball will come Gibson. Gibson looks inside to Porter, can't get the ball to him. Back it goes to Jackson. Kenneth Jackson stripped of the ball, taken on the floor by Westfield. Taken right back by Bohanon. Kicked up the floor and saved by Kenneth Jackson. Jackson by Tommy Hart. No call. Kenneth Jackson was actually hacked pretty hard by Tommy Hart. Wildcats lose the ball out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Side court, it'll be Matt McMahon to work the ball in. McMahon works into Mike Gipson. The Wildcats will set it up, trailing for the first time. 7-5 the score. 3:36 to play in the first quarter. Here comes Gibson. Off on the left side is Shaun Bohanon. Tommy Hart on defense. He looks inside to Porter. Can't get the ball to him. In it goes to Jackson. 5-footer. Too strong. No good. On the rebound, Cleveland. Saved by Kenneth Jackson, and he scores. Kenneth Jackson got the follow-up shot, and we're tied at 7. Down the floor will come Cleveland. Here comes Dell Baker. Driving, pulling up. 8-footer. No good. On the rebound will come Shaun Bohanon. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge's Mike Gipson. Gibson, the left corner to Matt McMahon for three. Good. 3-point shot. Matt McMahon, his first 3 points of the ball game, and Oak Ridge leads 10-7. Down the floor will come Cortez Westfield. He works the ball across the way. In the corner it goes to Tommy Hart. That's no good. On the rebound, Baker back up, and it's no good. Tipped in, good. By number 30, Dell Baker. And for Baker, that'll be his 5th point. And Oak Ridge once again has Shannon Porter coming the other way, missing the shot. On the rebound will come number 20. That'll be once again Cortez Westfield. He'll sit outside the 3-point stripe. Kick it out to Baker. Here's his 3-pointer. Good. Baker just bombs away from the outside. And for Baker, he already has 8 points in the ball game. And Oak Ridge trails again. But Matt can take the lead with a 3. Rims out, no good. Roll around the rim a couple times, just wouldn't drop for him, and down the floor will come Cleveland. Back and forth we go. Here's another 3. Now he'll penetrate, shoot from the corner, and score. 2-pointer up and good by Cortez Westfield. For him, that's his first 2 points. And down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Mike Gipson on the bounce pass to Shaun Bohanon. 4-point Cleveland lead, 14-10 the score. McMahon looks inside, backs it up to the top to Shaun Bohanon. To Matt McMahon, won't take the 3. And it goes to Kenneth Jackson, spinning in the paint. Shot good. Nice shot. Kenneth Jackson, he has 4 points, and Oak Ridge trails by 2. 14-12 the score. Cleveland down the floor once again. Tommy Hart holds the ball to Baker around the Westfield. Westfield thought about a 3. Inside it goes to number 34, Ryan Burns, whose shot is up, no good. Before that, a personal foul is going to be called. Minute 44 to play. Personal foul is going to be called. Mass substitutions for both teams. Scott Lamuno comes into the ball game. Luke Cochran checks in. Bohanon and Porter check out. Joe Fellers will check into the ball game. Out will come Kenneth Jackson. They'll also get Zimmerman back in the ball game, along with LeBron Johnson. Oak Ridge playing with Joe Fellers, Scott Lamuno, Mike Gipson, Luke Cochran, and Matt McMahon. 14-12 the score. They lead by 2. Minute 44 to play in the first quarter. Pretty decent crowd on hand here for this Friday night of basketball. Free throw on its way. Good. Made good by number 34. And let's see, that's Ryan Burns. Burns back to the free throw line for the Blue Raiders. Missed the shot. On the rebound, Luke Cochran. Luke led the team in offensive rebounds Tuesday night against Halls. Pulls down a defensive rebound this time. Oak Ridge down by 3. With the basketball, Joe Fillers in the paint. Goes in for the shot. No good. He was fouled. I don't know if they're going to call it a foul. I think he was just turning around. Maybe they'll give us an opportunity to shoot free throws here. They're going to say, yes, Joe Fillers was in the act of shooting. He'll go to the free throw line. Fillers on the season for the Wildcats, a 44.6% free throw shooter, averaging 6.4 points per ball game. Joe is yet to score in the ball game, and he'll go to the line. Oak Ridge down 3, 15-12. We're in the first quarter, a minute 33 to play. Joe Fillers shoots and misses, but he was fouled in the act of shooting, and Joe will have a second free throw. Fillers toes the mark, a 6'5" senior. Toss, good. Fillers hits the toss, his first point of the ball game, and down the floor will come Cleveland. All the way down the floor he goes to Zimmerman in the right corner. Bounce pass back to the top of the key. It goes once again to Cortez Westfield. Westfield around the Baker. He's a good three-point shooter, as we've already seen. Now it goes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman penetrates, works the ball inside. Here's the shot up. Good. Made good by number 42, LeBron Johnson. That's his first 2 points, and the Wildcats trail by 4. 17-13 the score. Here comes Luke Cochran down the floor. To Scott Lamuno to Joe Fillers on the left block. Lost the ball out of bounds. Wildcats turn it over, and it'll be Cleveland's basketball. Moving from left to right, playing the Wildcats are with Mike Gipson, Matt McMahon, Luke Cochran, Joe Fillers, and Scott Lamuno. Here comes Westfield driving, kicking it out to the coach's son, Zimmerman. Back to the right side it goes once again to LeBron Johnson for 3. That's a three-pointer. Good. Made good by Zimmerman, I believe. And down the floor will come Oak Ridge, trailing by its biggest margin now, 7, 20-13. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge's Matt McMahon. McMahon sets it inside to Fillers. He'll turn, he'll spin, and shoot and score. Joe Fillers with a nice little turnaround shot. And he has 3 points in the ball game, and down the floor will come Cleveland. They work the ball once again to number 42. Back it goes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman drives right, kicks it back out to Westfield, who drives to the free throw line, shoots from there and scores. Nice little shot by Westfield, and he has 4 points in the game. And back the other way will come Matt McMahon and the Wildcats. Matt backs up with a dribble. Wildcats down 22-15. Here comes Luke outside the line. Backs it up to Matt McMahon. Matt will drive. Matt will stop. Shoot. No good as the first quarter comes to a close. So our score after 1 quarter of basketball, Wildcats trail 22-15, and we'll be back at 67-15, and we're underway once again. Zimmerman drives to the top of the circle around to Westfield, around to Del Baker. In the corner it goes. Cross-court pass to Zimmerman, back to Westfield, around to Baker. Baker around the left side to Turner. Derek Turner drives in. Here's his shot up. No good. Zimmerman on the rebound. Good. Zimmerman scores his 5th pointer as that Burns as they bring the ball down the floor. Back to the top it goes once again to Kenneth Jackson. Jackson to Lamuno, inside to Joe Fillers. He's fouled from the rear by LeBron Johnson. So Johnson picks up the personal foul, and for him, that'll be his first. And it'll be, let's see, Oak Ridge's basketball, trailing 24-15, a 9-point lead for Cleveland. Oak Ridge inside Kenneth Jackson, he's fouled. And once again, the personal foul will be called against Johnson. That'll be his second foul in a matter of seconds. And it'll be Oak Ridge, I believe, at the free throw line with 2 shots upcoming. Oak Ridge playing with Scott Lamuno, Joe Fillers, Shaun Bohanon, Kenneth Jackson, and Mike Gipson. It'll be Oak Ridge at the free throw line with Kenneth Jackson. Jackson on the season for the Wildcats, a 61.9% free throw shooter, averaging 7.7 points per ball game. His shot is up and good. Kenneth Jackson now with 5 points in the ball game. And back to the free throw line he'll go. Wildcats trailing 24-16. Second toss up. Good. Kenneth Jackson, who Coach Carringer said had his best practice of the year yesterday, has 6 points. That leads the Wildcats in scoring. Cleveland with the basketball. Shaun Bohanon working hard on Baker. He sets for an NBA 3 and nailed it. He's a player. Just lost it from the outside. He has 11 points. The Wildcats trail by 10. 27-17 the score. Can't give him much room at all. They work the ball in with Shaun Bohanon. His 5-footer is good. Shaun Bohanon scores his first 2 points of the game, and the Wildcats trail by 8. They'll work it in. Westfield off the glass with a shot. No good. On the rebound, back again. Good. Made good by number 52, Derek Turner, and that's his first 2 points, and Oak Ridge trails by 10. 29-19 the score. Shaun Bohanon penetrates, needs help, spins out of trouble inside Joe Feller. Shot good, and he's fouled. Joe Feller's got the feed, scores his 5th point of the ball game, and will go to the free throw line with 1 shot upcoming. Oak Ridge down by 8, 29-21 the score. And once again, it'll be Joe Fellers at the charity stripe. Here in a moment or so, Shannon Porter will be entering the ball game for Joe Fellers. Joe will go to the line with 1 free throw upcoming. Oak Ridge trailing 29-21. It's the 2nd personal foul called against number 34 as Joe goes to the line. His shot is up good. Fellers hits the toss, and Joe now has 6 points, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. As the Wildcats substitute, Mike Gipson out of the ball game. Brett Kennedy, Matt McMahon in the ball game. Shannon Porter, Shaun Bohanon, and Kenneth Jackson, the 5 in the ball game for the Wildcats. With it will come Cleveland's Baker. He brings it across the line, works the ball to the right side, inside of Westfield for a shot, no good. Matt McMahon pulls down the board, and down the floor will come Oak Ridge. The girls won tonight by 10. McMahon with it to Kenneth Jackson, back to McMahon. Matt out to Jackson, inside of Porter. Pass was not strong enough. It's taken away by Cleveland. For the basketball, Westfield, he kicks it out, throws it off in the corner once again to Westfield. Cortez Westfield, working the dribble to the top, swings it off on the right side to his brother J.P. Westfield. Inside for a 5-footer, rolls in good. Tipped in by Derek Turner, and that's his 4th point. The Wildcats trail 31-22 for the basketball. Matt McMahon spinning to his right, gives it off to Shaun Bohanon. He looks inside to Shannon Porter, can't get the ball to him, comes cross court on a pass intended for Brett Kennedy. Knocked out of bounds by Cleveland. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball side court. Kennedy will work the ball in from in front of the Cleveland bench, and it comes to Matt McMahon. McMahon holds the ball with Westfield in his face. He spins to the left, comes back to the right, continuing to dribble all the way to the corner, inside of Porter, inside of Jackson, taken away by Cleveland. For the basketball will come Westfield. Westfield works the dribble to the left, stops out to the top, off he goes for a 3-pointer, no good. On the rebound, Oak Ridge's Shannon Porter comes away with it, and the personal foul is going to be called against Cleveland. It'll go against number 34 for them. Oak Ridge down 31-22. 7th team foul called against Cleveland. 5:30 to play in the first half. The Wildcats trailing 31-22. The girls won tonight after trailing by 13 at one point in the ball game. They came away with a 74-64 win. Official over to talk to Tom Mattingly, the official scorekeeper, and they're saying the personal foul's called against number 34, and that'll be Hudgens. That'll be his 3rd personal foul, so that would be a big loss. Kenneth Jackson at the free throw line for the Wildcats. He has 6 points in the ball game. I've got him at 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Tosses up good. Kenneth Jackson now with 7, and that's a pretty good start for him. As Coach Carringer said, he had his best practice yesterday and obviously came to play tonight as he'll stroll back to the free throw line for the Wildcats. Kenneth's previous career high in scoring was 13 points. He missed the 2nd toss. Down the floor will come Cleveland once again. Westfield outside the line. Matt McMahon in his face. He works the dribble to the right and stops. Swings it back to the top of the key to Westfield, around to Brandon Denning. Denning won't take the shot. Back it goes to Westfield near the midcourt circle. Attacks to the right side of Baker. They work the ball inside, and a foul is going to be called against Oak Ridge. I think it'll go against Kenneth Jackson. The official scorekeeper is told by the official that it is indeed against Kenneth. That'll be personal foul number 1. Team foul number 4 called against Oak Ridge. 31-23. Cleveland by 8. 5:10 to play first half. Westfield loops it up high, and it comes to number 15, J.P. Westfield. Around to Cortez Westfield. He drives to the free throw line. Bounce pass along the baseline for a shot. Good. Nice shot by number 52, and they score again. Down the floor, Oak Ridge will come, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Cleveland, and it'll be once again Oak Ridge's basketball side court. The corner of the front court. Kennedy will work the ball, and then it comes to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon attacks, looks inside Jackson. The feed goes to him. Kenneth off with a shot, no good. Dunked home, though, by Shannon Porter. Offensive rebound and putback jam by Shannon. That got the crowd awake here. 8-point game, 33-25. They work the ball inside, and Shannon Porter commits a personal foul. Shannon commits his 2nd foul of the ball game, and 3rd personal foul. and Joe Fillers is going to have to come off the bench. 33-25 the score, so Shannon now with 3 personal fouls, 4:38 to play. First half, 15 foul called against the Wildcats, 3 of them on Shannon Porter. It'll be Cortez Westfield to work the ball in. Shaun Bohanon on defense. Here's a shot off the glass. Offensive foul. Set up nicely by Brett Kennedy. Stood in the lane for a while and got the offensive foul called. Nice play, Brett Kennedy. And it'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Turner picks up the personal foul, his first. 33-25. Oak Ridge trailing by 8 points. 4:29 to play in the first half. Down the floor, Oak Ridge is Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon cross court to Matt McMahon, and I think Joe Fillers knocks down a man from Cleveland. I think that is the case. Personal foul called against Joe. He just set a screen and knocked the guy down. That'll be Cleveland's basketball. The girls started their game extremely slow, but rallied to win. Cleveland with the basketball. Down the floor once again, Westfield. Westfield works it out. Cross court with a long looping pass. Back to Westfield. Won't take the 3. Back to the top it goes. Off it goes to Turner. Back to Westfield with McMahon in his face. He dribbles back to the top of the circle. Backs up near the midcourt line. Now attacks to the top of the key. Now to the free throw line. Bounce pass on the left side. Over it goes to Cortez Westfield. He kicks it out to Baker for 3. Good. He's been hot all night. Del Baker with his 4th three-pointer, and now 14 points here in the first half. The Wildcats trail by 11, 36-25. Oak Ridge needs some offense. Kenneth Jackson with the basketball at the top of the key. Stops, gives it off to Kennedy, looks inside to Fillers, goes to Bohanon, gets a screen, shoots, gets his own rebound, then it's knocked out of bounds by, I believe, Oak Ridge, so it'll be Cleveland's basketball. Baker really bombing from the outside. 14 points here in the first half, and down the floor will come Cleveland, moving from left to right, wearing their all blue jerseys with white numerals. Oak Ridge in white jerseys with Cardinal numerals. 36-25 the score. Turner gets the pass up high. Back to the top it goes. They'll set it out to Westfield. Thought about a 3. Penetrates and shoots. Missed it on the rebound once again. Baker saved away by Jackson. Saved right back by Westfield. Westfield cannot shoot. He'll go in for a shot. Good. They score again with Derek Turner, and he has 8 points, and Oak Ridge calls the timeout, now trailing by 13, 38-25, and we'll be back in 6 points now, 38-25, 3 minutes to play here in the first half. The girls trailed by 13 in the first half and won the ball game by 10, 74-64. The Wildcats trying to get the ball inside of Joe Fillers. His 5-footer short, gets his own rebound, puts it back up and scores. Joe Fillers now with 8 points in the ball game, and down the floor will come Westfield. Wildcats need some turnovers. Defensively, Wildcats playing hard, but Cleveland just shooting the ball extremely well. Westfield penetrates, takes a 15-footer. It's good. Westfield scores again, and he has 6 points, and Oak Ridge trails again by 13. Here's Shaun Bohanon outside the 3-point stripe, backs it over to Gibson. Gibson to Jackson to Matt McMahon. The Wildcats looking inside of Fillers. They can't get the ball to him. Back it goes to Bohanon. Bohanon to McMahon for 3. No good. On the rebound will come the Blue Raiders. Down the floor with the basketball will come Cleveland. They work the ball along the baseline. With it will come Cortez Westfield. He'll set the play up once again back to Baker. 3-pointer. This one's short. Joe Fillers on the rebound for the Wildcats, and down the floor will come Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon walks. Right here in front of the scorers table. Good call by the officials. 2:07 to play. 13-point game. 40-27 the score. They'll get the basketball right here in front of me. It'll be, let's see, number 30, Del Baker to work the ball in. Baker works it in, and it comes to J.P. Westfield, top of the circle. Swings it to the corner. Another 3-pointer. That's an air ball. No good. On the rebound will come Oak Ridge. Kenneth Jackson to Mike Gipson. Wildcats down by 13. Gibson to Shaun Bohanon. Looks inside. Tries to get the ball to Joe Fillers. Instead, has to go inside to Matt McMahon, who penetrates, takes a 3-footer. Good. Matt McMahon scores his 5th point of the ball game, and Oak Ridge trails by 11. With the basketball, Westfield. He drives against the zone, pulls up and shoots. No good. On the rebound, Oak Ridge. 1:37 to play in the first half. 40-29. Matt McMahon needs help. Over it goes to Joe Fillers. Fillers in the midcourt circle, gives it off to Mike Gipson. Gibson outside the line. Back it goes to Matt. Thought about a 3, now will penetrate. Drives all the way in, layup, no good. On the rebound, Kenneth Jackson knocks the ball off the body of one of the Blue Raiders, but he's able to hold the ball, and Cleveland has the basketball. 40-29 the score. An 11-point Cleveland lead here with 1:09 to play in the first half. Cleveland holding the ball for the final few seconds here, down to the final minute of the first half. holding the basketball, dribbling it is J.P. Westfield near the midcourt circle. The Wildcats content to stay back on defense. Now they'll attack. Out it goes to Westfield. He's trapped by McMahon and Porter. He comes cross court to Baker. Baker won't take the three. Back to Westfield it goes. Back inside to Turner. Turner kicks it back out once again. Off to Westfield, around to Baker. Baker holding the ball. Now works it out once again. Back and forth they go. We're down to 35 seconds to play here in the first half. They lead by 11, 40-29 the score. Here's a trap set on Westfield. He tries to work out of it. It's going to be a foul called against Oak Ridge. Personal foul is going to be called against Matt McMahon. That'll be the 7th team foul. Matt picks up his first personal foul. That'll send Cleveland to the free throw line. Let's see, the man fouled, number 20, Cordez Westfield. Westfield in the ball game has 6 points in the ball game, and this will be his first attempts from the free throw line. 40-29, Oak Ridge trailing with 27 seconds to play. That's an air ball, no good. Oak Ridge's basketball. It's Cordez Westfield just tossed it up and got nothing but air. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball coming down the floor. Kenneth Jackson, Mike Gipson, Matt McMahon, Joe Fellers, and Shaun Bohanon in the ball game for the Wildcats. Here comes Gibson down the floor. 24 seconds to play. Gibson working against Zimmerman to the right. Comes back to the left, continuing the dribble. Stops, gives it off to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon attacks right. Wants to kick it back out. We're down to 13 seconds to play. Bohanon holds it to Gibson. Gibson, let's see if the Wildcats try to get anything going here. Now a foul is going to be called against number 54 for them. And that'll be Davis. And it'll be, let's see, Oak Ridge at the free throw line. And the man fouled is Mike Gipson. He'll go to the free throw line with 1 point in the game. He's 1 of 2 at the line. Mike on the season a 51.6% free throw shooter, averaging 3.9 points per ball game. Mike Gipson, sophomore, played at Jefferson Junior High School. 1 of 2 from the line tonight. Has 1 point. Staying at 1 as he missed the free throw. The rebound flipped away. Here's the final shot. No good as the first half comes to a close. So our score after 1 half of basketball here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge 40-29. And we'll be back with a look at this come out with Shaun Bohanon, Shannon Porter, and Kenneth Jackson as well as we're underway once again. The Wildcats need some perimeter scoring against the zone. Shaun thought about shooting. Out it goes to Mike Gipson. Gibson to Matt McMahon. That could use his outside shooting. He goes to Bohanon for 3. It's on target. No good. Kenneth Jackson on the rebound, short. Bohanon gets the rebound, lost it, grabbed on the floor by Cleveland. They have the basketball all the way down the floor, pulling up. That should be an offensive foul. He throws up the shot, no good. Wildcats don't have any kind of rebounding. They put it up and score. They had 3 guys just standing there waiting for the ball to come down. One of them committed the personal foul, and let's see who it's against. It'll go against Oak Ridge's Kenneth Jackson. That'll be his second personal foul. Team foul number 2. Wildcats trail by 13-14 as the free throw is up and good. 3-point play. Down the floor will come the Wildcats, but it'll come Gibson. The Wildcats down by 14 points. Kenneth Jackson out high, looks inside, back he goes to Bohanon, and Matt McMahon drives the baseline, throws the ball away. Try to get a pass into Shannon Porter. It's taken away by Cleveland. They have the basketball early down the floor. Matt McMahon fouls the man and commits another foul. So the Wildcats haven't come out that sharp here in the first, at least in the first 2 trips down the floor. They are being really frustrated with their perimeter game, with a good zone defense being applied by Cleveland. It'll be the Blue Raiders at the free throw line. Burns will go to the free throw line. He has, let's see, 2 points at the free throw line. His shot is up and it is no good. He was fouled in the act of shooting. He'll have a second attempt. 43-29, a 14-point Cleveland lead. Second toss, up good. 15-point game, and down the floor will come the Wildcats. With it will come Oak Ridge's Mike Gipson to Kenneth Jackson. Around the horn it goes to Matt McMahon. Wildcats down 44-29. They've yet to score here in the first minute. Kenneth Jackson, 5-footer, good. It's a nice shot. Kenneth Jackson now with 9 points, and Oak Ridge trails 44-31. Cleveland's basketball. We're in the third quarter here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. The final home game will be this coming Tuesday against Carnes. It'll be senior night. We'll have a big crowd. Westfield nearly walks, throws the ball away, picked up on the floor by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge needs some points. Here comes Shaun Bohanon down the floor of the basketball. Has all kinds of trouble with it. Brings it across the line. Stops. Gives it cross court to Mike Gipson. He drives. He stops. He guns it up. Off the rim. No good. Not the best shots. And they have the rebound down the floor. Layup. Good. J.P. Westfield now with 4 points, and Oak Ridge trails by 15. 46-31 the score. Shaun Bohanon back out high. He goes to Gibson. Wildcats playing again without Kevin Brown because of his injury sustained in the Powell game last week. As they work the ball around to Bohanon. Bohanon penetrates, might have walked, goes in for the shot, rims out, no good. Oak Ridge back on the rebound. Porter, no good. Again, no good by the Wildcats. Pulled away this time by Cleveland. They have the basketball up by 15. 46-31 the score. Westfield kicks it back out to Burns, who comes cross court. With it out, it goes to Turner. Inside for a shot. Here it is. No good. Matt McMahon on the rebound for the Wildcats. Down the floor, Matt will take it the full length. Go in for a shot. No good. But he does draw the foul. Just rolled off the rim for Matt McMahon. But Matt will go to the free throw line. The personal foul's called against number 32. Burns once again. And with 5:42 to play in the third quarter, Baker will come back off the bench. He picks up his first personal foul. Out of the contest will come number 34 for them. It'll be Oak Ridge at the free throw line with Matt McMahon. Matt with 5 points in the game. This will be his first attempts at the free throw line. Matt on the season, a 56% free throw shooter. Takes one dribble, guns up the first toss up, good. Matt McMahon, coming off an outstanding performance the other night against Halls, hits this free throw. 46-32 the score. The second toss is no good. Mike Gipson there for the rebound. Back up with the shot, no good. Tipped up again, no good. Shannon Porter still battling hard. Personal foul is going to be called. I think it'll go against Cleveland's number 30, Baker. No, it'll go against number 54 for the Blue Raiders. I knew I shouldn't have guessed, and that'll be, let's see, against Davis. It'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball again. Fourth personal foul caught against Davis, and will have to come out of the ball game. Bohanon to work the ball in. Oak Ridge down by 14. Up high it comes to Mike Gipson. Gibson dribbles to the left, looks over to his classmate, Shaun Bohanon, who lost the ball, and then a foul is going to be called against Shaun Bohanon. Wildcats playing with an all-underclass lineup, 2 sophomores and 3 juniors. Here's a senior coming into the ballgame. Brett Kennedy and Shaun Bohanon will check out. 14-point game, 46-32 the score. It'll be Cleveland's basketball. The Wildcats playing with Matt McMahon, Brett Kennedy, Kenneth Jackson, Shannon Porter, and Mike Gipson. Westfield on the left side, gives it over to Turner. Turner comes cross court to Westfield. He pulls up and shoots. No good. Shannon Porter there for the rebound for the Wildcats. Porter will bring the ball down the floor with a pass to Brett Kennedy. Kennedy outside the line to Matt McMahon in the left corner inside to Jackson. Lost the ball. Last touch by Cleveland. It'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball on the baseline. 46-32, Cleveland on top. Kennedy is yet to work the ball in. Now the ball goes off the body of one of the Blue Raiders, and the Wildcats will try to inbounds it once again. Kennedy calling somebody up and works the ball once again off the body of a Blue Raider. And once again, the Wildcats will try to work the ball in. 5:07 to play, third quarter. 46-32, the Wildcats trail. Brett works the ball inside, and it comes to Mike Gipson, holding the ball near the midcourt circle. Attacks inside to Kenneth Jackson, who shot it, swatted away. Taken away by Westfield. Westfield pulls up and shoots and missed it. On the rebound, Matt McMahon. Matt McMahon to Shannon Porter. The pass is too strong. Intercepted by Cleveland. Back the other way it goes to Westfield. Westfield penetrates, fouled, and scores. And the Wildcats now trail by 16 points. And Oak Ridge has only scored 3 points here in the first nearly 3.5 minutes of the third quarter, and they'll call a timeout. Let's take one ourselves. Oak Ridge trailing 48-32, and we'll be back in 60 seconds for the Blue Raiders, that is. The Wildcats, as I mentioned a moment ago, a little bit flat here, and sounds like I am too, having trouble speaking tonight for whatever reason, as they hit the free throw, and they lead now by 17 points. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Brett Kennedy to Mike Gipson, around to Matt McMahon, takes a three-pointer. No good. On the rebound, Mike Gipson, back up by Oak Ridge. Again, no good. Pulled away by Kennedy, up good. Brett Kennedy has his first 2 points in the ball game, and down the floor will come Cleveland once again. They'll set for the alley-oop. Good. No good. Missed the shot, but they get the rebound, and they'll set it back up to Westfield. Westfield cross court, driving with it. Cortez Westfield goes inside, lost the ball. Taken away by Oak Ridge. Brett Kennedy will take it to the hole. Here's his layup. No good. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be The Wildcats turning the ball over. 15-point game, 49-34 the score, 4:13 to play, third quarter. Tommy Hart trying to work the ball in. 5-second call. Pass intercepted by Shannon Porter. I thought they were going to get the call. Here's Shannon in for a shot. No good. He draws the foul. 4 minutes, 7 seconds to play. Third quarter. 15-point Cleveland lead. And Oak Ridge will go to the free throw line with Shannon Porter. Porter on the season a 62.5% free throw shooter, averaging 10.8 points per ball game. Shannon to the lead line has 6 points in the ball game, and this will be his first attempts from the free throw line. And let's see, Shannon having a little trouble. I think he has an earring in or something in his ear, and has to come out of the contest. I didn't see what it was, but comes off. Whatever it was, Shannon will go back to the free throw line. Toss up, good. Shannon Porter now with 7 points. Wildcats are led in scoring tonight by Kenneth Jackson's 9. In fact, the bulk of the scoring's come from the post. Second toss, no good. On the rebound will come the Blue Raiders. They have the basketball up by 14. With the basketball, number 34. He works the ball in, drives all the way through. Shot good, and he's fouled. Allowing too much middle penetration there. He just was able to drive all the way through and score an easy one. And Joe Fillers reaches in and commits the personal foul. They'll go to the free throw line, try to convert another 3-point play. 15th foul as, let's see, it'll be Hudgens at the free throw line. And he completes the 3-point play. And down the floor will come the Wildcats. Mike Gipson works the ball across the line. The sophomore looks at the scoreboard. His team down 52-35. Shannon Porter on the block, goes in for the shot. Good, and he's fouled. Shannon Porter scores. And for Shannon, that'll be his 9th point. He'll go to the free throw line to try to convert on the 3-point play. And some conversation going on between the players out on the floor as the Cleveland player trying to get in the ball game. And he finally does. That's Derek Turner. 3:47 to play. 52-37. Turner looks like a nice guy. Big smile to us as he came in. As Shannon Porter will go to the free throw line. 52-37. Toss. Good. Shannon completes the 3-point play, and he now in double figures with 10. 4 points here in the second half. The Wildcats trailing by 14. And they work the ball down the floor. They get it across the line. Over it goes to Tommy Hart inside of Turner. Kicks it back out to Baker. He's a gunner. He throws the ball inside of Westfield for a shot. No good. On the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Cleveland. That'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. The girls won their 17th game tonight, 74-64. They trailed by 13 in the first half, but 29 points from Aaron McGinnis helped the Wildcats win. Good performances by Malia Jordan as well. Gibson to Brett Kennedy to Matt McMahon for 3. Good. It's a big shot. Matt McMahon, his second 3 of the ball game, 9 points total, and Oak Ridge trails by 11. 52-41 the score. Here comes Cleveland down the floor. Westfield drives, pulls up 8-footer, no good. Joe Fillers on the rebound. Fillers has the numbers. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. 3-on-1 break. McMahon drives, lost the dribble, and the last touch by Cleveland. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. 3:03 to play, third quarter. The Wildcats back in the ball game. Still 11-point lead for Cleveland, but it was just a few moments ago 14, maybe even 15 points. As they substitute, it'll be Brett Kennedy to work the ball in. Kennedy from the baseline to Matt McMahon, top of the key. Low to get Matt hot as they work the ball to Joe Fillers at the free throw line. Pulls up and shoots. No good. Fillers missed the shot, and on the rebound will come the Blue Raiders. 2:53 to play, third quarter. 52-41 the score. Cleveland on top. They work the ball on the left side. Over it goes to Baker. Baker to the top to Westfield. They've got things spread out just a little bit. Now they attack out to the top to Westfield. Westfield around to Baker, around to Tommy Hart in the left corner. Hart drives in, kicks it back out high to the right corner to Turner. Comes cross court once again to Baker. 3-pointer on its way. No good. Shannon Porter on the rebound to Mike Gipson. Gibson to Matt McMahon. Makes a nice play just to get back to the basketball. Puts a move on. Shannon Porter shot. Good. Great play, Oak Ridge. Matt McMahon with the assist. Shannon Porter with his 12th point. Oak Ridge trails by 9. 52-53. With the basketball will come Westfield once again. They set a trap up high. Back to Baker. Baker drives. Stops. Goes in. 8-footer short. On the rebound, a foul should be called against Baker. He doesn't like it, but that's the call. The Wildcats have rallied back to within 9 points now. 52-43. They have the basketball with 2:05 to play in the third quarter. We've had one exciting game. The girls' game was a nail-biter to the end. The Wildcats won that game by 10. The Wildcats trying to stage a comeback in this one. Kennedy to Mike Gipson. Kicks it over to Matt McMahon. Back to Gibson. Looks inside. Cannot shoot. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy now penetrates. Looks cross-court to Matt. He'll drive. He'll stop. He'll gun. No good. Mike Gipson on the rebound. Back up with a shot. Good. And he's fouled. Great play, Mike Gipson. The sophomore scores his third point of the ball game, and he'll go to the free throw line to try to convert a three-point play as Oak Ridge is pulled to within 7 now, and Mike Gipson will go to the free throw line. Coach Zimmerman not calling a timeout. We've seen him blow leads before, including the first go-around, as the personal foul is called on Baker, his second personal foul. Gibson to the free throw line with 1 shot. 1:46 to play, third quarter. Toss, too strong. Brett Kennedy has the rebound, goes back up. No, he'll back it up wisely, and he'll be fouled by Westfield. Brett Kennedy with a big offensive rebound, and the Wildcats will get the basketball. Let's see, the foul's called, and that'll be the 7th team foul, so the Wildcats will go to the free throw line, and Brett Kennedy will go to the free throw line for the Wildcats. Brett on the season a 77% free throw shooter, and that's tops on the team for the Wildcats. Brett in the ball game with 2 points, 1 in the bonus here, 77% free throw shooter. Toss, no good, but Joe Fellers on the rebound, missed the shot. Shannon Porter up, good. Shannon Porter scores. He has 14, and the Wildcats trail by 5, 52-47. Here comes Cleveland down the floor. They work the ball in. Here's nearly a steal, knocked out by Matt McMahon. Once again, the Blue Raiders will have the basketball. I'm really surprised that they haven't called a timeout. The Wildcats have gotten right back in the ballgame. It's down to 5 now, 52-47. Cleveland's basketball. Tommy Hart in the left corner, back to Baker. Baker back to Westfield, unable to shoot. Comes inside to Turner. Turner works the ball inside. Shot blocked. Taken away by Turner, but he scores. They get the offensive putback shot. 10 points now. Wildcats down by 7. 54-47 the score. 1:12 to play in the third quarter. Fellers dribbling the ball. Over it goes to Kennedy. Kennedy dribbles to the top. Guarded by Westfield. Back to the top. It goes to Gibson. Gibson works the ball on Matt McMahon. He's fouled. That'll send Matt to the free throw line as he's fouled by Cortez Westfield, and Oak Ridge will go back to the free throw line again. We're down to a minute to play in the third quarter. Oak Ridge trailing 54-47. The Wildcats trail by 11 at the half. They've trailed by as many as 15 points, and maybe even more than that, as Matt goes to the free throw line. He has 9 points in the game, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Shot is good. Matt McMahon in double figures, joining Shannon Porter, who has 14 points. Kenneth Jackson has 9. Joe Fellers has 8. Shaun Bohanon with 2 points. Brett Kennedy with 2. Second toss, good. Matt McMahon hits both tosses. 11 points for Matt. Oak Ridge down by 5, 54-49. Trap in rear court. Tommy Hart across the way to Turner. Can't get the basketball. Westfield saves it. Westfield penetrates, works the ball across to the top of the key, and they'll set up the offense once again for Cleveland. Matt McMahon in his face. Cortez Westfield around the left side of Baker. Baker comes cross court, wide open 3. It's on its way, good. 3-point shot. That's a big one for them by J.P. Westfield, and he now has 9 points. Oak Ridge trailing by 8. Back it goes to Kennedy on the left side. Kennedy looks up to the top, dribbles right, gives it off to Mike Gipson. Gibson looks inside at Fellers, back it goes. Matt McMahon holding the ball. The Wildcats will work for the final shot here in the third quarter, holding the ball with Matt McMahon. McMahon holding the ball. His left foot is his pivot foot. Wildcats down to 10. He penetrates, gives it off to Gibson. Gibson wants cross court back to Matt. Around to Shannon Porter. Goes in for the 5-footer. Good, and he's fouled. Great play on the post by Shannon Porter, and he'll go to the free throw line with an opportunity for a 3-point play. Shannon now with 16 points, 10 of which have come here in the third quarter. Turner picks up his second personal foul, and Shannon needs to knock this one home with 4 seconds to play. They'll get the basketball to start the fourth quarter, so Shannon needs to knock it down here. It's a 6-point Cleveland lead, 57-51 the score. Porter's toss is good. Shannon Porter now with 15 points. They'll get a shot off. No good as the third quarter comes to a close. Our score after 3 quarters of basketball here at the Oak Ridge High School gym, The Cleveland Blue Raiders on top of Oak Ridge by 5, 57-52, and we'll be back. Here's in a district ball game, senior night. We'll hope you'll come out for the final home game of the year in the regular season. Hopefully we'll have a couple sub-state ball games. That's a long ways down the road. Cleveland's basketball, they're up by 5, 57-52. Oak Ridge outscored them 23-17 in the third quarter as they take a shot and miss it. On the rebound, Baker back inside, foul by Mike Gipson. Gibson picks up his second personal foul. Team foul number 6 called against the Wildcats. They'll say he was in the act of shooting, and that'll send Derek Turner to the free throw line. He has 10 points in the ball game, and this will be his first attempts from the free throw line. Turner, a junior post, guns up the toss, no good. Nothing but iron. But he was fouled in the act of shooting. The Wildcats will get the opportunity here as Turner goes back to the line. Toss up, this one's good. Turner now with 11 points. The Wildcats trail by 6, 58-52. Mike Gipson, Matt McMahon to cut the lead in half. No good. Missed the 3 from the outside. Cleveland on the long rebound. Westfield down the floor. Works the ball to the right side. Off it goes to Turner, back to Westfield to Baker. Baker thought about a 3. Works the ball in and fouls. Does the Wildcats, hopefully against Joe Fellers. It might be against Shannon Porter. It'll go against Shannon. That'll be his 4th personal foul. Porter picks up his 4th. And Shannon's been a big key here in the second half. Shannon Porter has really fueled the Oak Ridge comeback, and he has to come out with 16 points. But a good third quarter for Shannon Porter. 7:22 to play, 6-point game. Turner to the free throw line. He'll have the 1 in the bonus. They lead. Toss, no good. Joe Fellers on the rebound to Mike Gipson. Here come the Wildcats, 58-52. Here's the alley-oop to Kennedy. Kennedy along the baseline, wisely backs it up, and then is fouled by Cleveland. Personal foul will go against Westfield. That'll send Brett to the free throw line. The Wildcats down 58-52, and Kennedy will go to the free throw line. They'll substitute. Back in the ballgame, Davis. Baker will come out. He's the man who committed the foul. It's his 3rd. And Brett Kennedy will go to the free throw line. Brett in the ballgame has 2 points. He's 0 of 1 from the free throw line. But as I mentioned, he leads the team in free throw shooting, 77%. Wildcats as a team not really shooting the ball that well from the free throw line this year, just barely over 50%, which is pretty low. As Brett Kennedy will go to the free throw line as one of the towel boys gets a nice round of applause. I guess they're ball boys. I don't know if he wants to be called a towel boy or not, but Kennedy at the free throw line. Toss, no good. Joe Fellers on the rebound, goes back up for the shot. Hook shot, good. Joe Fellers scores, and the Wildcats cut the lead. And here's nearly a steal. Tommy Hartson, rear court pass, intercepted by Kennedy. Kennedy, the Kenneth Jackson shot, no good. Goaltending called. Wildcats get the 2. And Oak Ridge has closed the gap to 2 points. Kenneth Jackson now with 11. Oak Ridge trails 58-56. 7 minutes to play in the ball game. And it'll be Cleveland's basketball. The Wildcats playing with Kenneth Jackson, Brett Kennedy, Mike Gipson, Matt McMahon, and Joe Fellers. Here comes Cleveland down the floor in rear court. With the basketball will come number 34. He works the ball across to Turner. Turner to Westfield. Around the corner it goes. They're up by 2. They work the ball back out once again. 6:47 and counting in the ball game. Cleveland 58, Oak Ridge 56. The girls won tonight 74-64. Cleveland, Westfield around the left corner once again to Davis. Back to Westfield. Gibson quickly. Here's a long pass. They kick it out for a 3. They won't take it. Back around the left side of Westfield. Back to Davis. Back inside it goes. Here's the shot by Turner. Good. It's a nice shot. Just buried it home from the outside. 13 points now. Here comes Oak Ridge's Mike Gipson for a layup. Good. And he's fouled. Mike Gipson allowed to penetrate all the way down the lane, and he scores an easy one. Mike Gipson now with 5 points, and the sophomore will go to the free throw line, and that's the 5th personal foul called against Hudgens, and he's out of here. And Coach Zimmerman wants a timeout. Oak Ridge will go to the free throw line with Mike Gipson trying to convert the 3-point play. Oak Ridge down by 2. They've trailed the entire way. They trailed by 7 after 1 quarter, 22-15, by 11 at the half, 40-29. 60-58 the score. It'll be once again Gibson at the free throw line. 6:20 to play. Gibson trying to cut the lead in half here. It's 2 points now. Coach Zimmerman yelling out instructions. Gibson guns, too strong. Joe Fillers on the rebound. Yes, the Wildcats with it. Mike Gipson kicks it out to Fillers, and he's fouled. The Wildcats get the ball right back. Cleveland falling apart. They were up by 15. The Wildcats can tie at the line. 60-58 to score. The girls rally from a 13-point deficit, as there's the third personal foul called against Turner. It'll be once again Mike Gipson at the free throw line. And now Coach Zimmerman will call the timeout. Let's take one ourselves. 60-58 Cleveland. We'll be back in 60 seconds. See if Mike can knock these home. First one's on its way. He missed it, but Kenneth Jackson had the rebound, knocked out by Cleveland. The Wildcats get the ball back anyway. The Wildcats have had their opportunities, missing 3 front ends, but the Wildcats have battled on strong on the boards. Here it comes into Gibson as the ball knocked out of bounds by Cleveland once again. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball, and Brett Kennedy will work the ball in. 6:13 to play in the ball game. A lot of time here. 2-point Cleveland lead. Brett Kennedy looks it up high to Mike Gipson. Nice athletic play to Matt McMahon. McMahon outside the line. They don't give him the 3. Westfield's in his face. Back he goes to Gibson. Gibson works the dribble to the left, gives it off to Brett Kennedy. Kennedy back to Gibson. Gibson looks inside. Back he goes to Matt. Back to Gibson. Gibson, now McMahon's wide open in the right corner if they can get the ball to him. Gibson swings the ball to the left side, comes back to the right. Back to the top it goes to Matt McMahon in the midcourt circle. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy dribbles right, swings the ball to the right, penetrates, gives it off to Gibson. Gibson looks inside to Fillers. The pass goes to him in the right corner. Back it goes to McMahon. McMahon looks at the clock, 5:35 to play. Good defense being applied by Cleveland. Wildcats being very patient with their offense. McMahon with it. Inside it goes to Joe Fillers. Had him momentarily. Back to McMahon it goes. McMahon with it. Cross court once again to the right corner to Kennedy. Won't take the shot. Back to McMahon it goes. Matt at the top of the key. Good defense being applied by Cleveland. The Wildcats can't get anything on the inside. Matt has to back up with a dribble here. 5:12 to go. 60-58 to score. Here's the alley-oop. Kenneth Jackson shot. Good, and we're tied. Somebody didn't stay at home, and Kenneth Jackson ties the ball game at 60. Down the floor will come the Cleveland Blue Raiders. They're still in rear court. Turner with it on the right side. He works it across the line in the corner to Westfield. Cortez Westfield back to J.P. Westfield. Westfield drives, stops, guns, no good. Kennedy on the rebound and is fouled. Great play by Brett Kennedy as he was falling down. He knew he was going to walk. I think he signaled for a timeout, but he was fouled before that, and Brett will go to the free throw line to try to give Oak Ridge the lead here. Oak Ridge tied at 60. The Wildcats have been behind the entire ball game. In fact, trying to think back, I don't know if the Wildcats have ever led in the ball game. Maybe all the way back, maybe it was 2-0, something like that, but I cannot remember an Oak Ridge lead. Brett will have the one in the bonus. Has missed his first 2 tonight. He nails this one, and Oak Ridge does take the lead. 61-60. 3 points down the ball game for Brett Kennedy. 61-60 Oak Ridge. 4:48 to play in the ball game. Another nail biter here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. The Wildcats trying to win their 12th. Brett Kennedy nailed this one. Nothing but net. 4 points for Kennedy, and the Wildcats lead by 2. 62-60 after trailing big time early. Westfield down the floor. JP to Cortez. Shot. No good. He steps out of bounds with a basketball. Oak Ridge will get it. And once again, Coach Zimmerman's team, who we have seen blow leads before against us, has blown another one. And the Wildcats will have the basketball. In fact, I think they were up by 15 earlier in the first game this year as the Wildcats bring the ball down the floor. Gibson with it over to Kennedy. Wildcats by 2 with the basketball. Bounce pass. Matt McMahon had Kenneth Jackson early. Goes inside to Joe Fillers. Fillers to Matt McMahon. Matt will drive. Stop. Gun. He's fouled. Personal foul will be called against Cleveland. 4:19 to play. And the personal foul is going to go against Baker, I believe. Del Baker. That'll be his 4th personal foul. Baker was a big factor in the first half with 14 points, but hasn't scored a whole lot here in the second. Cleveland calls another timeout. Oak Ridge by 2, 60-60. 62-60, that is. 4:19 to play in the ball game. Lots of time. We'll be back in playoffs, and we're missing quite a few players. In fact, of the starting 5 tonight for the Wildcats, 4 of the starters were on the football team and didn't even play that first game. Oak Ridge's basketball up by 3, 63-60. I want to remind everybody to stay tuned following the game for the award-winning post-game show with Jeff Wise. Oak Ridge's basketball inside Kenneth Jackson. Layup, Oak Ridge missed it. Fillers had the rebound, lost it. Taken away by Cleveland. Big battle on the floor. Jackson battles. The ball stolen and knocked out of bounds by a hustling Kenneth Jackson. But a great round of applause, deservedly so, for Kenneth Jackson, who hustled for that basketball. 3:51 to play. Oak Ridge by 3. 63-60 to score. Here comes Tommy Hart with the basketball. He's had trouble getting the ball down the floor before. Let's see if we can get a turnover from Tommy Hart. 63-60 to score. 3:51 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge by 3. They've trailed by as many as 15 or so points in the ball game. Down the floor come Westfield. Westfield to Tommy Hart. He's the man who has trouble with the basketball. He's still in rear court. He's in trouble. Gives it over to Baker. Baker in rear court. Now he gets it across the line with a pass to Westfield. He throws the ball away. Kennedy will work the ball in. Oak Ridge trying to win their 4th game in their last 5. For the basketball will come Mike Gipson. Gibson with it over to Matt McMahon. To Brett Kennedy in the right corner. Cross court it goes to Gibson. One dribble. One shot. No good. Kennedy on the rebound. Back up with a shot. Good. Brett Kennedy scores. He has 6 points, and the Wildcats lead by 5. 65-60 to score. 3:20 to play in the basketball game. Here comes Westfield down the floor. Bounce pass in the corner. Wide open. They go inside. Shot is up. Good. They score with Johnson, and he has 4. The Wildcat lead is 3 once again, 65-62. Here's Kenneth Jackson. Jackson to Matt McMahon. He wound up walk, goes in for the shot, no good. Big Joe Fillers up, good. Joe Fillers scores again, and the Wildcats lead by 5. They come down the floor, put up a shot. Joe Fillers swats it to Clinton, baby. Swats that bad boy back to Clinton. And it'll be Cleveland's basketball, but a rejection by Joe Fillers, and it'll be their basketball side court. 2:50 to play. The Wildcats on top by 5, 67-62. Once again, Cleveland's Westfield works it up high to his brother Westfield. Back to Baker, good three-point shooter. Won't take the shot. Back to Westfield for 3. No good. On the rebound, Kenneth Jackson of the Wildcats. Kenneth needs help, finds Mike Gipson. The Wildcats with the basketball. 2:37 to play. Gibson in trouble, gives it over to Matt McMahon. McMahon brings it across the line, brings it to the midcourt circle, gives it off to Kennedy. Kennedy back out to Gibson. The Wildcats to Joe Fillers, to Kenneth Jackson. One dribble, one shot, gets his own rebound, scores! Kenneth Jackson scores again. 15 points. Oak Ridge by 7. Here's a steal by Mike Gipson to Cleveland's Westfield. Westfield steps out of bounds. No, he's fouled. 2 minutes, 14 seconds to play in this basketball game. It's been all Oak Ridge in the second half. They trail by 11 at the break. They lead now by 7, 69-62. 2:14 to play in the basketball game. Cleveland in danger of losing their second game in a row to the Wildcats this year. Once again, Cleveland could not hold on to a big lead. We saw that. We've seen that happen many times with them, as the shot is up and good by Westfield. He now has 10 points in the ball game. 69-63. Back to the free throw line. He'll go. J.P. Westfield. Toss. Good. Rattled around a couple times and finally dropped home. And down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Up by 5. 69-64. Kenneth Jackson in rear court, walks it across the line, slings it over to Mike Gipson. We're down to 2:05 to play. Matt McMahon to Brett Kennedy, inside to Kenneth Jackson. Great feed, great shot, good! Kenneth Jackson scores, and the Wildcats lead 71-64. Here come the running Blue Raiders down the floor. They're having trouble finding somebody to get rid of the basketball. Here comes Baker, pulling up and gunning a 3. Brick, no good. They get the rebound. Back to Westfield, another 3. Up, another brick. On the rebound, once again, Cleveland. They miss it again. Pulled away this time, and then a foul is going to be called. Personal foul will be called against Oak Ridge. It'll go against number 24, Kenneth Jackson. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. 71-64, his 4th personal foul. Jackson comes out. Back into the ball game, Shannon Porter. So the Wildcats playing with Matt McMahon, Mike Gipson, Brett Kennedy, and Joe Fillers. It'll be Cleveland at the free throw line. 71-64 Oak Ridge. Wildcats trying to win their 12th game, their 4th game in 5. Toss is good. They hit the shot up and good. Back to the free throw line they'll go. 71-65 Oak Ridge. We're down to 1:40 to play. They led by 11 at the half. Oak Ridge trailed by 5 after 3 quarters. Their lead now is 6. 71-65 the score. Final home game will be this coming Tuesday. It'll be senior night against Carnes Big district game for the girls and the boys. Tosses up and good. Down the floor, Oak Ridge with the basketball up by 5, 71-66. Joe Fellers to Shannon Porter to Mike Gipson. Gibson near the midcourt circle, a minute and a half to play. Gibson's in trouble. Fires a pass over to Matt McMahon. Matt will penetrate. He's fouled by Baker, and Baker might have 5. And Baker will have to come out of the ball game, and his night's work is over. Baker comes out of the contest, and Oak Ridge will go to the free throw line, leading 71-66. So a number of players have fouled out of this one like they did in the girls' game. And it'll be Oak Ridge at the line with Matt McMahon. Matt in the ball game has 12 points. He's 4 of 6 from the free throw line. They'll have to get somebody off the bench once again. And it'll be Kenneth Jackson coming back in the game for Oak Ridge here in a second. Kenneth checks in for Joe Fellers. Gets a nice round of applause, a big round of applause from the loud and vocal Oak Ridge faithful here at the gym tonight. 71-66, Matt McMahon to the line, a minute 26 to play. McMahon shot good. 13 points for Matt. Back to the line he'll go. Oak Ridge 72, Cleveland 66. The girls won tonight 74-64. They rallied from 13 points behind as McMahon strolls to the line. Second toss, good. Wildcats hitting their points down the stretch here. Here's nearly a steal. Down the floor, Westfield. Westfield back to the top. Cortez, that is. He comes in. 8-footer, no good. Shannon Porter on the rebound to Mike Gipson. The Wildcats with the basketball. On top, 73-66 with the basketball. Gibson to Matt McMahon. Matt will drive. Lost the ball. Picked up by Shannon Porter. Back to McMahon. He kicks it out to Jackson. Back to McMahon. Looks to the right corner to Kennedy. Back to the left side it goes to McMahon. He stops. Back to Brett Kennedy. Backs up. Won't take the 3. We're down to 56. Here's Shannon gunning. Shot no good. Knocked out of bounds. No, it's saved by Cleveland. Here's Westfield. Great play by Gibson. Almost getting the walk or the charge, but he's able to elude it. And Westfield sets it out for a 3-pointer. No good. Brett Kennedy there for the rebound. Clears it down the floor and lost it. Taken away by Westfield. Westfield with a 3. No good. Shannon Porter can't get the rebound. It's knocked out of bounds by Cleveland. 33 seconds to play. 73-66 to score, and a timeout is asked for by the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and that should be their final timeout of the ballgame. Oak Ridge on top, 73-66, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Seconds to play in the ballgame. Kenneth Jackson works it in to Matt McMahon, stolen away by Cleveland, stolen right back by Jackson. Jackson to Mike Gipson. Gibson down the floor for the Wildcats. Penetrates it, gives it off to Brett Kennedy into a cutting Kenneth Jackson, who's fouled by Cortez Westfield. Kenneth Jackson, who has scored a career-high 17 points tonight, will go to the free throw line for the Wildcats. We saw a new career high for Erin McGinnis tonight. She scored 29 points, which was a new career high for her. Kenneth Jackson, a career high 17, and he can increase that total at the free throw line. Kenneth on the season, let's see, for the Wildcats. A 61% free throw shooter. Can't hit the shot, but battles for the rebound, but knocks it out of bounds. Another great hustle by Kenneth Jackson. 20 seconds to play. The Wildcats headed for their 12th win. 73-66. Cleveland's basketball. 19 seconds to play. Westfield down the floor. Turning, spinning, unable to shoot. Now here's Cortez with a 3-point. No good. Jackson can't pull away the rebound. Westfield, they might get a technical as he slams the ball hard to the floor. No foul called. It'll be a personal foul against Kenneth, and that'll be his 5th personal foul. Jackson scores fouls out of the ball game. And let's see who will come in. It'll either be Luke Cochran as Kenneth Jackson checks out. Wildcats need to get somebody in. It'll be either Luke or John Marsh or Joe Fellers. Let's see. 10 seconds to play. Oak Ridge on top, 73-66. It'll be Scott Lamuno coming off the bench. Scott comes in, the red-headed senior, checks into the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 73-66. And Jeff Wise, a double sweep tonight for the Wildcats. The girls have rallied, the boys have rallied. Both are going to win tonight. To the free throw line, J.P. Westfield. Cleveland had a big lead, just couldn't hold it. Westfield shot good. Oak Ridge by 6, 73-67, but just not enough time left. 10 seconds to play. Westfield back to the free throw line. Second toss. Good. Oak Ridge's basketball. Lamuno works into Brett Kennedy. Kennedy in rear court to Lamuno. 7, back to Kennedy. They're not even going to foul. This one's over. 3, 2, 1. Oak Ridge wins it by a final score of 73-68. 73-68. The Wildcats knock off Cleveland for the second time this year. And the Wildcats up their record now to 12-12. The Wildcats win once again, despite the fact they have 2 of their seniors unable to play. Kevin Brown, and it'll be good to get Kevin back Tuesday for the Carnes ball game, but the Wildcats win the ball game by a final score of 73-68. So a big win for the Wildcats. Both teams rally from double-digit deficits to win the ball games. The girls win 74-64, and the guys win tonight 73-68. And Chad and Phil, you have seen your first win for the boys basketball team this year. We're going to take a break, send it back to Jeff Wise. We'll be back in 3 minutes.